The Sunshine State is tracking Idalia.
Expect to lose power.
With expected landfall just hours away. A mass shooting inside a Florida dollar store.
We know that he acted completely alone.
Being investigated as a federal hate crime. Coastal concerns leading to a major cleanup.
Because that's never going to go away.
Along Biscayne Bay. And taking your trackside for a very dangerous race in Daytona. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Anthony Cruz.
I'm Samantha Gutierrez. Today is Monday, August 28th, 2023.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
It's all eyes on the Gulf this morning as Tropical Storm Idalia is forecasted to strengthen into a hurricane in the upcoming hours. Already a threat as a major hurricane, the Florida Gulf Coast is preparing for Idalia.
And as WFT's reporter Lydia Vasquez tells us, officials ask anyone whose home is at risk in the Tampa Bay area to pick up sandbags.
Every time there's a storm, I usually get sandbags, and it's a good way to protect water from coming into my garage.
10 sandbags later, Emily Rogers says she's not taking any chances.
It's also good to, because we live close to Hillsborough River, to be safe and protected just in case the water rises higher than you think it's going to rise.
Rogers isn't alone. People stuff their trunks with sandbags as dozens of locations open up to the public ahead of Idalia.
You know, we're college students, so we're just trying to prepare as best as we can, and we're trying to make sure nothing happens to our apartments.
Officials recommend anyone whose home is at risk for flooding consider picking up sandbags. They also suggest checking your yards for things like debris, which can clog up storm drains and make flooding worse. Sunday, Governor Ron DeSantis held a press conference encouraging everyone to closely monitor this storm after issuing a state of emergency for about half of Florida.
Anybody on this Gulf Coast, certainly from Tampa all the way up to places like Bay County, you should absolutely be very vigilant right now. You should be following the track of the storm, and you should just be making your preparations. Listen to the folks who are the emergency management and the local officials. They are going to be the ones that are going to be issuing guidance on evacuating if there's any road closure.
Meanwhile, officials are encouraging everyone to make a plan.
Things that you should consider. How will we receive our communications and warnings? What is our plan for shelter? What is our evacuation route? What is our internal family communication plan if we should get separated?
In Tampa, Lydia Vasquez, ABC Action News.
Jacksonville wakes up today still mourning the tragic loss of 3 black victims at Dollar General in what authorities have since deemed a racially motivated attack. The shooter, a 21-year-old white male, had tried to enter Edward Waters University, an HBCU only a few blocks away from the Dollar General, earlier in the day wearing a bulletproof vest. The police on site turned him away. He equipped himself with 2 weapons which were adorned with swastikas before taking his own life. He left behind 3 manifestos outlining his hateful ideology towards African Americans. Jacksonville Mayor Donna Deegan told the public that this hate is unacceptable.
And this type of hate, this type of, you see the swastikas on the gun, we must do everything that we can. We must do everything that we can to dissuade this type of hate.
The FBI announced that they will conduct an investigation on the matter as a federal hate crime.
Trouble in the waters of Crandon Park's beach on Key Biscayne. The network's Leanne Abutarbuj has more on why beachgoers should avoid going for a swim.
Hold off on your favorite swim spot because Crandon Beach Park has just tested positive for some bacteria that could potentially sicken swimmers. Florida Department of Health has reported fecal pollution at the northern and southern parts of the Crandon Park near Key Biscayne. People like Haley say they had to cut their beach trip short after finding out the water was contaminated.
We definitely wanted to go in the water, swim around, play mermaids a bit. We were excited to go swimming, but unfortunately they told us we couldn't go in because of the bacteria. We were like, oh, that's kind of like ruining our beach day. Like, we're really hot, want to cool down, and for us not to go in the water, that's I don't think we would have made the trip out here if we knew we couldn't swim in the ocean.
We usually always come here during the weekend, and we always go inside the water.
It's like super nice. I was actually like shocked that there was like no one inside the water. Like 5 minutes before we got in, we were like, no one's in the water, something's probably wrong.
While fire rescue trucks were present at the scene, warning everyone to avoid entering the water, no signs regarding harmful bacteria were displayed.
No, I don't see any signs that tell me to not get in the water. I can't swim anyway, but I feel like the word definitely needs to be passed around to the ones that are actually in the water.
The fecal pollution is linked to both human sewage and animal waste, likely because of a water treatment plant located on the island. For any updates on the advisory, visit floridahealth.gov. I'm Leanne Abutarbush reporting for Caplin News.
Miami is getting messy, and no, we're not talking about the soccer player. The network's Nicole Ardilla has more about how locals are taking action to clean up litter at Bayfront Park.
Volunteers and organizations came together to clean up one of Miami's biggest messes, plastic. And here at Bayfront Park, hundreds of pounds of trash were collected on the sand and the rocks. And some of the people I spoke with think it's the city's responsibility to fix, but they were still more than happy to do it themselves. Shoes, bottles, containers, tennis balls, and styrofoam. These were just some of the items found on the shore of Bayfront Park at Clean Miami Beach's event on Friday. 83 volunteers of all ages joined the nonprofit organization from 5 to 7 p.m. to clean it up. 2 volunteers couldn't believe the items they found in the water.
I found a whole unopened corked wine bottle. Unopened, and to me the amount of styrofoam, the all broken and brittled up and stuff, because that's never going to go away.
They both filled up 5 to 6 of these buckets with trash. They also say that people walking around Bayside would think the area is normally clean until they take a peek over the edge of the water.
Well, I've been doing beach cleanups for about a year now, and I'm pretty shocked at how much garbage there actually is. I had no idea.
Champions of Green partnered with Clean Miami Beach to take the recyclable items found and turn them into new products like apparel out of plastic.
The hat I'm wearing is made from 6 plastic bottles, and we like to educate it. The polo that I'm wearing is made from 18 plastic bottles.
The volunteers collected a total of 1,006 pounds of trash at the event. One organizer says the purpose of these cleanups are to educate and create awareness about how much of our garbage is polluting the environment. To start making a change, this is what she suggests people do.
Wherever you go, reusable water bottles, reusable bags. When you go to the restaurants, ask for no straws or bring your own straw, your own containers. Like, bring your own things. If everybody puts their part, we can make a change.
Clean Miami Beach isn't done yet. Their next cleanup event is on September 2nd on 10th Street, where they invite the whole community to join them in helping save the planet, picking up one piece of trash at a time. Reporting from downtown Miami, this is Nicole Ardila for Caplin.
It's a full house at the International Space Station this morning. The original crew is there, and so are the astronauts from the Crew 7 capsules docked with the ISS yesterday. The launch was early Saturday morning. The mission involved astronauts from all around the world. The purpose of the mission is to reach the International Space Station, conduct around 200 experiments for future missions.
The Coke 0400 is an annual NASCAR Cup Series stock car race at the Daytona International Speedway. Caplin's Kenneth Bueno has more from Daytona.
188 days since the Daytona 500 kicked off the 2023 NASCAR Cup Series season, 40 of stock car racing's best came back to the World Center of Racing in one last push for the playoffs with the Coke Zero Sugar 400. More than a dozen hungry drivers arrived in Daytona Beach looking to capture the final spot available in the NASCAR playoffs. Pole sitter Chase Briscoe echoing the one goal for the race, to win and get in.
Like for us, we have literally absolutely nothing to lose with our point situation and things like that. So, that part of it is, I guess, a little freeing and relieving, just knowing that I can go out there and race tomorrow and literally the only thing that matters is winning. Where, every week, all that matters is really winning, but you still have other motives. You just got to go execute, and that's something that, at the end of the day, if you don't execute, you're not going to have a shot to win this race tomorrow. So that's all we got to focus on now.
Among those drivers looking to get in were A.J. Allmendinger, Bubba Wallace, and 2020 Cup Series champion Chase Elliott. But the party was spoiled by playoff-bound teammates Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski, bringing the first 1-2 finish for RFK Racing since 2014.
I feel like we've had a shot to win the last really 3 Daytona races, and they've kind of slipped through our fingers with different circumstances. But I was confident that if we could keep together, Chris and I, that this one would be a little different.
The race went off to a clean start, but a 12-car pileup in Stage 2 and a scary tumble for Stewart-Haas Racing's Ryan Preece near the end would send the race into a 2-lap shootout. From there, Buescher kept the entire field at bay to get his 5th career Cup Series victory.
Huge moment to do it here at Daytona, to close out the regular season this way. Surely a big moment for us, great momentum. I hate even saying it like this, but probably good for points and what we got ahead of us as well. And we've got some really fun racetracks coming up for us that we've been really excited about even before getting that checkered flag tonight. So safe to say we're going to be a contender as we head into the playoffs now.
After a hellacious crash on the back straightaway and an overtime restart, Chris Buescher remained ahead to capture his 3rd win of the season. Bubba Wallace becomes the last driver to enter the 2023 playoffs as the series ships off to Darlington, South Carolina next Sunday. Reporting from the Daytona International Speedway, Kenneth Bueno of Caplin News.
The Marlins make a comeback in an attempt to beat the Nationals.
That's still ahead, and so is this story.
It's really hot in Miami.
It may be hot in the 305, but that is no excuse to not exercise, especially when training indoors. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
How do you know when you've made the right decision? It's the feeling you get in your gut. The one that tells you what's right or wrong. It's the one that says, sure, I can have a drink. Or the feeling that says, okay, I've been drinking. Now what? It's the voice inside you that says, I'm buzzed. Better leave the car when it's time to go. Plan ahead. Catch a sober ride. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
Every day.
Millions of people are connecting.
And even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort.
We should still make an effort.
to get to know each other.
On a deeper level. Father.
Cosplayer.
Mentor.
Actor.
It's time we take a step forward.
It's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
how accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Working out in Miami can be exhausting, but there are still ways to stay cool while exercising. There is no doubt that fitness has a great deal of importance in Miami.
And as the network's Daniela Tholke reports, with the heat advisories going on, working out is a great way to stay cool.
Due to high temperatures this summer, many athletes are opting to exercise inside a state-of-the-art facility today. Here's how Miami stays fit at Raw Fit Miami.
It's really hot in Miami, and water is so important. It's important for recovery, to prevent injuries, just also to not overheat. We've been reaching like unusual heat temperatures this summer.
Push it forward, so that's station number 9. Okay.
Front squat.
Throughout the workout, you're gonna be sweating. You gotta hydrate. One of the key things, it could be hot, but as long as you're hydrated, you know you're good. And a lot of people in Miami, they drink the colada, they drink the coffee, they don't drink enough water. So your temperature goes up when your body's dehydrated.
Loves working out together. The environment is really friendly, and the trainers, I believe that we give so much motivation that they want to keep coming back.
Reaching your fitness goals and living a healthier lifestyle can be achieved through physical activity. So joining group classes like these can help you beat the heat. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Daniela Tholke.
The Marlins are fighting to stay above 500 this morning and to stay in the place for a National League wildcard. Yesterday afternoon, Miami played host to the Washington Nationals. Despite being down 1-0 early, the Fish battled back with a game-winning 2-run home run in the third inning. Final score was Marlins 2, Nationals 1. They will host Tampa Bay Rays tomorrow night.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Anthony Cruz.
I'm Samantha Gutierrez. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.